In this video, I want to talk about my third week of OCD group therapy. As a disclaimer, this video is not a substitute for therapy. This week we spoke about unhelpful thinking styles. Stuff like being black and white thinker, something has to be this way or it has to be this way, there's no room in the middle. Another one is catastrophizing, so just going to the worst case scenario straight away and not thinking that it could just have a smaller impact than you think it does. And another one is critical self, so just always putting yourself down, having that really high level of responsibility that is common in OCD. We then went on to alternative appraisals. With OCD we come up with an appraisal that causes us a lot of anxiety, so we do something to try and get rid of that feeling, because obviously we don't want to have that feeling stick around. By having an alternative appraisal, we can find another way to interpret the feelings that we have and the thoughts that are in our mind, so that we can reduce that level of anxiety without giving into a compulsion. We can do that by looking at the feelings itself. Are we just judging it on feelings? Are we judging it on logical thinking? Are we putting an emphasis on irrelevant factors? We're just honing in on one thing. And overall, is the thought helpful? And we have to realize that the thoughts on their own don't actually change the outcome of anything. It'll put you in a different mood, which will cause you to take different actions, but the thoughts themselves don't just magically make something happen. And we do just have to accept the fact that bad things do happen, even if we do or don't do all of these things that we think will prevent that bad thing from happening. However, what that also means is that great things can happen. So to look on the bright side of the situation. That's more of my interpretation. So we're really coming into that sort of experiments, ERP side of overcoming OCD. We've done a lot of looking at the problem, seeing how it manifests itself, and now we're looking at how to actually deal with it and overcome these issues that people with OCD have. For homework, we were given the alternative appraisal, so to come up with one ourselves, maybe something that stresses us out, look at evidence for our appraisal, so the OCD that wants us to give into the compulsion, actually write down the evidence to do that, and also have an alternative appraisal which would result in not doing the compulsion, and then you've got all this evidence on that side as well. And what that allows you to do is to rationally go through it, and you want to do this in a calm state. You don't want to do this when you're really stressed. So for me, I did go for something quite anxiety inducing, because I thought I made a lot of progress and I kind of just need to go for these more difficult issues. And then we had the self-monitoring forms again, but there was another column for cognitive errors, the unhelpful thinking styles, so the black and white thinking, the catastrophizing, and being critical of yourself. There are also other ones as well. We were given a sheet that had about like 10 or 12 on them. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to moving on to more of the experiment stuff to really overcome OCD and focus on this solution to the problem, rather than just going over the problem itself over and over and over again. I'll see you next week.